There's one thing about living in rural countryside in Portugal, well, anywhere in the world really, is that there is always something to be done, whether it's streaming, pruning, planting, um, learning how to fix things. There's definitely one thing that I've done so many times. When I first moved to this house, there was a problem with a wall plug. I mean, I'm not an electrician and I don't know anything about it. And I had to learn how to fix a wall plug myself. And then there is the toilet. Um, the house had a really old toilet with a plastic water tank on top with a water pipe that comes down. And it was literally just taped together. And then one of the night, basically the whole tank collapsed. And I had to buy a toilet. And I had to learn how to replace the toilets. You know, that's something I don't know how to do before that I had to learn. And then there is fixing cars. That's definitely a thing in Portugal. You know, cars in Portugal are extremely expensive, and there are a lot of old cars for that reason. And a lot of the time, you have to learn how to fix it yourself. So, you know, living in rural countryside, you have to become self-sufficient in a way that you have to learn how to do a lot of stuff yourself, even though it's the first time. And the good thing is, like nowadays we have YouTube. So, you know, if you don't know anything, you can just go on YouTube and watch videos and just learn it that way. So, yeah. So, if you're thinking about living in a rural countryside, there is definitely something that you have to keep in mind, that you have to prepare to learn about everything and do everything yourself. Okay. So one of my plans today is to prune this big fig tree that I show you previous videos. Uh, I'm not going to use chainsaw today because I think I need to climb up to the top and I don't feel safe using a chainsaw standing in the middle of the tree. So I'm going to use one of these, a handsaw. This would be a lot safer option. And also I'm going to use one of these trusty power scissors. So what I want to do is kind of clear up the middle part, because for fruit tree you really want the sun to be able to penetrate into the center of the tree, and also you can get airflow to go in the middle, so you kind of reduce the amount of disease for a tree. So that's what I'm planning to do. Well, that's the first stage I'm going to do first. There are plenty of brambles around here, and bramble is one of the things that I hate the most. So I'm not going to do a heavy prune on this tree because this tree does produce really big green figs, and I don't want to kind of affect the harvest for this year. So the idea of the pruning tree is to make it into an umbrella shape. So when there's fruits in August, you can just go around and pick them, and it should be to a height that where you can reach. Anything higher you don't really want because you can't get to them. So that's the idea of it. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with watching me prune a tree, so I will see you in a second. Okay, this is what the tree looks like now. You can see I prune quite a bit, but not too much. Let me go to the other end, you can see better. Okay, so I took out the top branch, as you can see it's gone, and then I thinned out this side on the right hand side and also the left hand side, but I've left the back. I didn't touch the back for two reasons. One, because that's a level down, a level terrace. It's too high to pick the fruit anyway, and if I want to prune it, I would have to cut it all the way, you know, to the branch, and that's not going to help. Secondly, I have a vegetable patch down here in this area, so in the summer, you know, this tree actually provides quite a bit of morning shade for the vegetable. In the summer, it gets really hot in Portugal, so that's going to help providing shade. So here it is. You can see it's like an umbrella shape. That was the goal I'm trying to get to. So, and we got a little dog here. Do you approve? Yeah? Look at him. He's so cute. Ooh, what a beautiful day today. So nice to see the sun again. Anyway, today I have a couple of tasks I wanted to do. Small tasks. One being, I can see here's a bunch of strawberry plants. I planted in the pot last year, and it's kind of overgrown by weed. So I need to clean this out. That's a small task. And then another task is to clean my garden patch. I mean my garlic patch. But I will show you later, because before I do that, I want to show you what my vegetable garden looks like at the moment. It is such a mess. Right, let's start from the top terrace. It looks like just a bunch of weed, but you know, it's hidden inside. So here I have spinaches. I don't know if you can see, but these are all spinach plants. And then next to it, I did plant some turnips, but it never came out. So now it's just tons of weed. And then here I have some Chinese cabbage. First time growing them, and I didn't know that Chinese cabbage bolts, as in like they flower when it's too cold. I thought they only flower when they get too hot. So now they're all bolted. As you can see, they're all flowered. I mean, they're still edible, but I might just, you know, eat some of the young ones and give the old ones to my friend's guinea pig. I think they like them. And then next to it, You can see I have some lettuces buried between all the weed. And here I have one Swiss chard. And then next to it I have a line of beetroot. And then next to it I have some green cabbages that were looking pretty good. And then they aren't. So I think if I weeded them and give them fertilizer, I think they will look better. And then next to it, believe it or not, there are tons of leeks and onion in here. You can barely see them. So I kind of need to weed this area by hand so I don't take out anything that I don't want. And then this is the area I dug up in my first video. The weeds are growing back, so I need to turn the soil again so it doesn't come back. Anyway, so that's a quick walkthrough of my vegetables on the upper terrace. Let me take you to the lower terrace. Here I have nothing. That's where the fig tree is. And then if you excuse my laundry, this is my lower terrace. So behind here I had the raspberry plants. If you watch my last video, you see what that is. And then behind us, oh, these are wild artichokes. They grow here like crazy. They're not the edible type, but they look very pretty when the flower comes. And then on this side, I have a few more Chinese cabbage. Next to it, I have more beetroot, but these are golden beetroot. I don't know if you can see them, but you know these the yellow ones? They are beetroot, but they are yellow. And then this is my garlic patch. This is one of the tasks I wanted to do, is to clear this out so my garlic can grow better. Next to it, I had some more Chinese cabbage, but they are really small. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it flower, let the bees have the honey. And then opposite here, with all this yellow flower, this is called broccoli rad. They are supposed to be like broccoli, but much easier to grow. I left it for too long, so they're all flowered now, but I'm leaving it because look at the bees. I don't know if you can see. There are tons of bees flying around. They love that. So I'm gonna leave it. Next to it here, I have some kale, Portuguese kale. These plants are amazing because they are supposed to grow for 5 to 7 years. That's what I read. I had these for 2 years now and they've been producing leaves like constantly. I've been harvesting them constantly. And now they're flowering, which I don't know what that means. I don't know whether I'm supposed to cut the flower out. So if you know what I'm supposed to do, leave in the comment below so I know what I'm supposed to do. But they all look really healthy. I mean, the greens are all coming out. They are still producing like crazy. And next to it, this is a massive broad bean patch. There are so many broad beans planted here. So quickly tell you what happened. Last year, my landlady gave me some broad beans. I've never liked broad bean. They are just not my food that I like to eat. But in Portugal, they have this popular snack in a bar that they eat while they drink. It's broad bean, kind of soaked in brine, and they're like salty, slimy, and they like that. I'm, not my thing really. Anyway, so last year when I was doing my vegetable garden, I had some space left, so I thought, okay, I'm going to plant some broad beans. So I planted about 5 broad beans. They grew to a reasonable size, and they gave me tons of broad beans. The thing is, when they first started, they were small. Let me see if I can find them, if there's anything growing here. You can't see them yet. Anyway, so when they're still in the shell, when they're young, they're really soft. So what I did was I just harvest them and cut them in pieces, and they were delicious. I really, really loved them. So what happened this year is, I planted these before winter came last year, because apparently that's when you're supposed to plant them. I planted, I think, about 50 of them in this area. I wasn't expecting, half of them to come up, but I think about 80% of the broad bean came out, and they all grew, and now I have this massive broad bean forest here, and I think I'm gonna get tons and tons of broad bean this year. I will have to harvest them all, of course. I don't want to waste any food, and I think I will be giving out broad bean to my friends and neighbors for the rest of the summer, and I hope they like them. And then next to it, in this, looks like nothing, but they are actually radishes. I grew them. Radishes supposed to be harvested after 27 days, but I never harvested this. So now they are, let me see, you can find one. Oh, there you go. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it because of sunlight, but this is a big radish, huge radish. There's another one here. So I don't think they're edible anymore. I think they're really, really tough. So I'll just leave it to flower for the bees, so they can have some food, since the spring only just began. Oh, I've only just noticed I got tons of aphids in here. That's no good. I will have to do something about that. I need to spray some garlic lotion on it or something. Anyway, so let's go and do my first task of the day, which is to clean out the strawberry pots. Okay, they look much better now. Got more space to grow, and hopefully they'll be happier and gonna produce tons of strawberries for me this year.